Today, we lost, obviously, on the bill on background checks. And part of the reason that we lost is because the Republicans had this, well, I would say it's a lunatic conspiracy theory, but it isn't. It was a purposeful conspiracy theory. It was planted by the NRA and the Republican Party, and it was planted that way so that it would burrow into people's heads. So what they decided to do was they decided to say to people, even though there is no federal gun registry in this bill, that there was one. How did they do it? They did the old 9/11 trick. The 9/11 trick is, 9/11 was terrible. Iraq is in the center of the place where 9/11 came from. They didn't say Iraq did it. They just put Iraq and 9/11 in the same sentence. Look at Ted Cruz do this masterfully.
Question of a national gun registry. I don't disagree that on its face, currently pending legislation does not purport to create a national gun registry. But the Department of Justice has been explicit that when you require background checks for private firearms transactions, the only way to make that effective is through a national gun registry. So if the bill that is pending on the floor of the Senate passed, the next step in the process would be that critics would say, well, this isn't effective. We don't know if you're selling your firearm to someone else unless we know you have your firearm.
Ted Cruz is a clever liar. I'm going to show you what kind of a lie that is in a second, but he's not alone. So here is Chuck Grassley, who's supposed to be somewhat of a moderate among Republicans. Laugh with me. Come on, moderate Republican. What a joke. Listen to this liar.
So it seems to me that there's ample evidence that the government knowing where guns are is a bad thing and a violation and a slippery slope of compromising the Second Amendment. And you wouldn't think about compromising the First Amendment or search and seizure or the Fourth Amendment or the right of eminent domain and the security of property under the Fifth Amendment. So it's part of the Bill of Rights.
Joe Manchin, who had an A rating from the NRA. Now, he's a Democrat from West Virginia. One of the ways he got elected is he threw an Obama bill up in the air in one of his ads and shot it. Literally. Okay, very pro-gun rights, voted against the assault weapons ban, voted against the high-capacity magazines ban, etc. And this is not even a universal background check. He's saying, look, man, we have a really watered-down bill. Can I get some help here? I'm with Republican Pat Toomey. But no, instead the NRA sent out the other Republicans to lie. And Manchin was so sick of it, and I was surprised he said this. He called them out on national TV as liars. Watch.
They're telling members that our legislation would, and I quote, criminalize the private transfer of firearms by honest citizens. We don't even, this bill does not even touch.
That's just
does
a
not
lie.
even touch it.
That's just a lie, Joe.
It is a lie, Joe. And the only thing I'm saying, if someone made a mistake in making that quote, I would hope they would correct that, because if they lose credibility, they've lost everything in Washington.
Credibility, that last part was funny. If they lose credibility in Washington, well, that would mean they're in Washington. What, NRA had credibility? Please. Anyway, so what's in the bill? First of all, before the bill, what is the current law? So who's right, who's wrong? The current law says a federal gun registry is not allowed. It is illegal. Illegal! So what does the bill do? The bill also says a federal gun registry is illegal, banned. It double bans it. It was already banned, it bans it again. In fact, they said if a government official tries to do a national federal gun registry, it's a felony and they'll get 15 years in prison. And what did the NRA do? They said, we don't care what the truth is. We paid these Republican and some Democrats to be our boys and our girls, to do exactly what we tell them to do. And we told them, go out there and lie about it. It doesn't matter what the bill says. It doesn't matter what the law says. You do your job, which is to create a crazy conspiracy theory that the gun nuts in this country and the right-wing lunatics in this country will believe, oh my God, it's a gun registry. I hear there's the death panels and you're coming for my guns. And oh yeah, they're going to take it with my cold dead hands. I'm going to start a revolution. I'm going to fight in the woods. Yeah. That's the kind of lunatics that they appeal to. So what did they do? They got, I don't know why I'm hesitating to say, they got their paid bitches to go out there and lie through their teeth. Here's another compilation of Republicans doing it.
I will not be voting for this. I think it potentially could lead to a gun registry, which I'm not for.
They have, and I think for good reason, come out against the Toomey Manchin compromise as full of holes, as unworkable, and as something that might very well lead to a national registry.
And of course, most members of the Senate oppose gun registration. They know what has happened historically with gun registration.
In my opinion, I think the federal government has no business keeping a list of every American who chooses to exercise his right to keep or bear arms.
One of the provisions we expect to see in the bill, based on what we saw in the Judiciary Committee on which I sit, would allow the Attorney General of the United States to promulgate regulations that could lead to a national registry system for guns.
Not remotely true. And from time to time, they cover their tracks by saying it could lead to a gun registry. It could lead to a gun registry. Oh, it's not in the bill, but it could. And then they have plans. And then once they have the federal gun registry, then they're going to put you in Hobbit homes. And it worked. Just that simple. Now, the reality of it is, it doesn't matter. 91% of the country was in favor of the background check anyway. A stronger version than this bill. It's not like they tricked overall Americans. That's why, I mean, those guys that I was describing, I got Dave for my cold dead hands, I said they're not relevant. They're 9% of the country, okay? And by the way, the Republican Party, nicely done, okay? You think this is a winning strategy? No, you just pissed off all the suburban moms in the country. Oh, you got your right-wing lunatics to vote for you what? How many times can they vote for you? You already had them locked up. Okay, you got them even locked up more. And the idiot Democrats that voted for this, or that voted against this, and that voted against the assault weapons ban, etc. Oh, what? Oh, I'm going to try to get those lunatics who believe in black helicopters and Hobbit homes to what? Vote for you? They're going to vote for you? No, they're going to vote for the Republicans every time, you moron. So they went along with it, but it wasn't because of that, because it was the cold, hard cash. It's not the cold, dead hands, it's the cold, hard cash that matters. NRA, where are you? Oh, don't run ads against me. Don't lower my rating. Don't run ads against me. I'm so sorry, NRA. Okay, I'll lie for you. I'll do it. So that's the conspiracy theory they used to knock down this bill, but it was just an excuse so they could vote their pocketbook anyway.